Let me ask you something. Are you working for your money, or is your money working for you? Now, if it feels like you're constantly on a treadmill, just chasing after bills, it's time to flip that script. We're going to dive into how you can take command of your finances, and we'll use the incredible journey of self-made millionaire Duncan Bannatyne as our roadmap. This quote from Bannatyne, wow, it just hits you, right? Because it's so incredibly true. Debt isn't just a number on a piece of paper. It's literally a claim on your future. Every single dollar you owe is a little piece of your future freedom, your future choices that you've already signed away. So this is it. This is the fundamental question we all have to answer. Is money your master, calling all the shots in your life? Or is it your tool, something you use to build the life you actually want? Your answer to this changes absolutely everything. So where do we start? Well, the first step isn't about downloading a budgeting app or picking a stock. Nope. The battle for your financial freedom, it's won or lost right up here, in your mind. It all starts with a radical shift in how you even see money. For Duncan Bannatyne, this lesson came really early, and it was pretty harsh. Picture this. He's just a little kid, and he desperately wants an ice cream from the van. But his father just looks at him and says, "We're poor, you can't have it." And right there, in that moment, he realized money wasn't really about buying things. It was about having the power to choose. It's the difference between having options and having your options taken away from you. So let's put these two mindsets side by side, because it really makes it clear. You've got the slave to salary who sees money and immediately thinks spend. They kind of avoid looking at their bank balance, They just work for that next paycheck. But then you've got the master of money. They see money as a tool. They want to know exactly what their numbers are. And they're focused on one thing, making that paycheck work for them. That's the shift. That's what we're aiming for. Okay, a huge part of the shift is how we think about the word budget. For most of us, when we hear it, we just think of restrictions, all the things we can't do. But that's all wrong. A budget is a plan for freedom. It's a roadmap. It's you telling your money exactly where to go, instead of scratching your head at the end of the month wondering where it all went. So when Duncan Bannatyne finally sat down and made his first real budget, he was absolutely shocked by what he found. This number, £400, that's how much he was spending every single year on his daily cappuccino habit. I mean, think about that. That's a whole vacation's worth of money just disappearing, one coffee at a time. And it just proves this core principle. You cannot control what you don't measure. It's not the big expenses that usually get us. It's those tiny little leaks. The coffees, the subscriptions you forgot about, the little impulse buys. Over time, those are the things that will sink your whole financial ship. Okay, so once the mindset is right, it's time for action. This is all about going from being a passive passenger in your financial life to grabbing the steering wheel with both hands. It's about mastering your cash flow. And listen, you don't need some ridiculously complicated spreadsheet. Banjity suggests a really simple but powerful system. Just think of it like you have 3 jars. 70% of your income, that goes into the first jar for all your necessary living expenses. 20%, and this part is non-negotiable. It goes straight into a second jar for savings and investments. That's for your future self. And that last 10%, that's your third jar. That's for you to enjoy completely guilt-free or maybe to invest in your own growth. Now, controlling your spending also means you have to understand debt. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Good debt helps you buy an asset, something that can make you more money, like an education or a business. Bad debt, well, that just buys stuff that loses value the second you get it. Knowing the difference before you borrow anything is absolutely crucial. Now, if you are dealing with some of that bad debt, here is a fantastic plan to get rid of it. First, list out all your debts, from the smallest amount to the biggest. Now, you're going to pay the minimum on everything, except for that smallest one. You attack that smallest debt with every extra dollar you can find. Once it's gone, boof, you take that whole payment amount and you roll it onto the next smallest debt. It's all about building momentum and getting those quick wins to keep you fired up. But look, cutting your costs is only half the battle. You can't shrink your way to wealth. It's time to go on the offense. And that means actively looking for ways to expand your earning power. I want you to think about earning power in 3 levels, like you're leveling up in a game. Most of us start at level 1. We're employees. We trade our time for money. It's a direct trade, but it's limited, right? Level 2 is becoming a business owner. Here, you start to leverage other people's time and you sell value, not just your own hours. But the final level, level 3, is the investor. This is where your money itself becomes your employee, working for you 24/7 to make even more money. This right here, this was the secret to Bonatine's success. From that very first ice cream van all the way to his gyms and hotels, he wasn't just doing a job. He was identifying a need, a problem, and then he created a solution that people were more than happy to pay for. That shift in thinking is what separates just earning a wage from actually creating wealth. So you've mastered your spending, you're increasing your income. Now we get to the really exciting part, putting that money to work. This is the giant leap from just protecting your money to actively making it grow. It's really important to understand the difference here. Saving, that's defense. It's putting money in a safe place for security, for emergencies. It's essential. But investing, that's offense. That's taking calculated risks to make your money grow and actually move you forward financially. You absolutely need both. But, and this is a big but, before you even think about playing offense, you have to build your shield. This is completely non-negotiable. You need an emergency fund with 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses saved up, somewhere you can get to it easily. This shield is what protects your investments when life inevitably throws you a curveball. And now for the magic. Seriously, this is the thing that makes investing so incredibly powerful. Compound interest. Simple interest is just your money earning money, but compounding, that's when your interest starts earning its own interest. Just look at the difference on this chart. Over time, that compounding effect creates this explosive growth curve. This is how wealth is really, truly built. All right, we've talked about the mindset, mastering spending, expanding your earning, and the magic of investing. Now, let's bring it all together into a simple, actionable plan that you can start using the very second this is over. Don't get overwhelmed. Just start right here. First, be totally honest with yourself and get to know your numbers. What's coming in, what's going out, and what you owe. Second, set one small, clear goal, something achievable, like saving your first $1,000 for that emergency fund. Third, create that simple budget like the 70-20-10 plan we talked about. And finally, and this is maybe the most important step of all, automate it. Set up an automatic transfer to your savings account for the day you get paid. Set it and forget it. Please don't get paralyzed trying to create the perfect financial plan. It doesn't exist. The only thing that truly matters is that you start. Start messy, start small, it doesn't matter. Just start today. So, it all comes down to this. The question isn't if you can do this, it's what are you going to do now? Forget about tomorrow or next week. What is the one small step, the one tiny action you can take in the next hour to start owning your future?